So boys and girls, it's Friday the 26th of July, I'm your host Thomas Adams and this is the Game Zone News Recap. Our top story today could be one of the most bizarre ideas for a franchise I've seen in quite some time. The long-time and very well-made horror game F.E.A.R has decided it should go and turn into a free-to-play multiplayer horror type game thing instead of just being a really good single-player horror game. Now this move not only confuses me but also really disappoints me because F.E.A.R 3 was absolutely terrible. F.E.A.R 1 was great and all of its DLC type expansions were absolutely amazing. F.E.A.R 2 was meh and F.E.A.R 3 was just absolutely just appalling. And overall, I just really missed what the first one and its DLCs really did for the franchise and as a whole. But turning this single player horror game into a free-to-play multiplayer game, I just don't really understand it. It just makes no sense, really. So what do you guys think about it turning into a free-to-play multiplayer type horror game thing? In other news, we've got another part of the #Evil Reborn trailer series for Blizzard's upcoming horror game. Well, yeah, I may have lied about it being an upcoming horror game because at the end of the day, this is Diablo 3 and they're just trying to do some sort of viral marketing type thing and trying to really hype this game that's already out on PC and has been for, I don't know, a year or so. But whatever the case, Diablo 3 is coming to the PlayStation 3 very, very soon. Now I do understand why they're putting it on the PlayStation because at the end of the day, putting your game on more platforms is a great way of making more money, but I do think that the PlayStation 4 would have been a better idea because a lot of people are going to buy that, and from on the top of my head I think the PlayStation 4 cannot play PS3 games. Yeah, so it was probably been a better choice to put it on the PS4, but whatever the case, yeah, these trailers are showing a horror type game and really stimulating the horror type game genre. But Diablo 3 is not that, it's an action RPG, it's a dungeon crawling, loot collecting, really, it's a great genre, but for me, Diablo 3 and a lot of other people, it's a very medicore game at best, and it's a huge disappointment for those who loved the series. Our last story of the day should bring many smiles to certain viewers because the ever so successful Zynga and their army of cloned popular games and farming type games is yet again struggling to keep afloat. Now over the last few months they've actually lost $15 million and half their daily player base. Now that is pretty bad because their player base is where they generate their money. But not all is doom and gloom because at the end of the day, yeah, Zynga is an absolutely huge company, so $15 million isn't really going to be like, oh, we're bankrupt. And they also recently spent around $20 million to hire, yeah, this is his first year's salary will be around $20 million. And you may know him as Don Matrick, or you may know him as the guy who said this.
Fortunately, we have a product for people who aren't able to get some form of connectivity. It's called Xbox 360.
Right. So stick with 360, that's your message?
Yes. He has left Microsoft, he was an executive, and he's joined as the CEO for Zynga, and he's definitely going to help them out because he really helped the Xbox One. He really gave you an idea of what this console meant to be, and he's definitely going to help Zynga. So whatever the case, yeah, Zynga is hemorrhaging money, and I hope it sinks, and I hope all of the good guys in that company, the developers, really find a nice lovely job somewhere else because Zynga is just bleh. Remember that you can check out the latest news on www.gamezone.com. I have been your host Thomas Adams and this has been the News Recap.